The Department of State Service, DSS, says communities play a crucial role in securing themselves against criminal elements, adding that they must serve as the first line of defense. It specifically stated that it was impossible for all the security agencies to protect all Nigerians across nooks and crannies of the country. Oluwatosin Ajayi, the Director-General of the Secret Police, stated this in Abuja when he spoke at the maiden annual lecture of the National Association of the Institute for Security Studies. The lecture had top echelons from the military, police and other paramilitary agencies in attendance. The DSS boss recounted historical instances where communities successfully defended themselves against insurgents, particularly in Azare and Tafawa Balewa in Bauchi states. Now to discuss this, we're joined by security analyst, the MD Executive Guards Limited, Dr. Edinen Usoroh. Dr. Edinen, you're welcome. Thank you very much for joining us this afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Grand. Now, so let's start by asking what strategies should be employed to engage communities and encourage them to actually take ownership of the security.
I think it's really difficult because it's like a complete turnaround by government. Now, if you're asking the communities to be prepared to defend themselves, the question is, what has changed? How do you want them to defend themselves? Because is it with their bare hands, with sticks, or you expect them to organize themselves, get some arms and ammunitions, at least the traditional side, whether you want them to form hunters group that will be loyal to the communities and then fight this insecurity. I think the DG needs to speak more, because we know that in the recent past, even the little arms for hunting that people used to have, there was a time government said, oh, they were no more issuing that. So when this kind of statement comes, it's a big statement. So that's one side. But I know that with what is going on, the communities need to be engaged, and I think the right time is now. But not just general statement. The communities need to be brought in by government and then given specifications on what they can do to take ownership. But not just telling them, oh, go ahead and defend yourself. Of course, you know what that will result into. Maybe total chaos or anarchy.
Total chaos or anarchy. I think I understand what you're trying to say here regarding the hopelessness of the situation, or at least the seeming hopelessness of the situation. But this leaves traditional leaders or community leaders in a certain kind of position. So what are they expecting these community or traditional leaders to do in order to mobilize the community to defend themselves?
Unfortunately, just I know that you know too, that our community leaders, traditional rulers, have really nothing, no authority, no power, when it comes to the security of their local areas. But like I said, it's time for government to engage people at the community levels. So the community leaders could actually be in the forefront. For instance, if you're going to get people to guard the entrances to a village, for instance, the community leaders or the village head, the village council members need to know who and who are going to be involved. And of course, they should have the rules of engagement. For instance, if you arrest somebody coming into our community, and then you get the person, ask the person, maybe somebody you suspect, you have some reasonable grounds to suspect the person. Don't start by lynching the person. Don't start by beating the person to make the person to tell you what you want to hear. Oh, I'm a terrorist or whatever. They should be able to get some people, groups maybe in the village or in the community, get their details, get their identities, get their particulars, maybe get guarantors for each of them, even though they are members of that same community. For instance, somebody can guarantee his own son. A community leader can guarantee his own son or his own cousin or whatsoever. So when you have these details, then you now give them the rules of engagement. Don't kill anyone you see in the name of providing security, which is what we have in most of the time. You hear vigilante people, somebody is caught with a tuber of yam, and not really what we're fighting for. And then they will lynch the person, set the person on fire, and all that. So, but there should be, people should be organized into groups that are identifiable, that you can also work with the police or with the local authorities, maybe at the local government level, and then these people, there should be rules of engagement. There should be rules of engagement. Not my fear has always been, by the time you know it, somebody can be killed on the basis of he's not able to recite a particular verse of the Quran or the Bible, and so you say, okay, he's not one of us, and then you lynch him and kill him, or because the person is speaking a different language than ours, and then he's killed just like that, an innocent person. So there should be rules of engagement, but not just, go take care, own up the security of your community. We need to sit down. There need to be a table discussion on this.
So I understand what you're saying regarding the arbitrary nature of how a judgment could be passed if they were to be given these responsibilities. But then you also spoke about how regulation must be a part of it. This brings in training or capacity building programs. What kind could be provided to these communities to enhance their self-defense capabilities, and also how they're able to, or how they would be able to identify members of insurgent members?
Yeah, number one, you've talked about capacity building. Outside the government security apparatus, somebody like me, of course, for instance, our company, you can train people on basic security awareness, basic threat assessment, basic intelligence sourcing, gathering, and then you can get this. Like I said, if you are going to get a group of people in a particular community by community, you can train them in this basic security skills, and then of course the issue of how now. Because you can't. Someone is coming to kill you with an AK-47, and then you go there with a catapult, or you go there with a stick. It wouldn't work. So now the discussion with government, like I said, a table discussion will be what level of weapons can these people be allowed to carry? Who will guarantee them? Who will guarantee them? But I know it's something that can be done, like I said, if the traditional rulers are allowed, given some little authority, they should be able to organize on their community level. And then, but anybody you're going to give, whether it's a double barrel gun, whether it's a pump action gun, or whatever kind of weapon, there should be guarantees. Someone, of course, don't take those in the community who are drug addicts. Don't take those in the community that have been causing trouble, looting and causing problems in the community. Leaving your community to go to another one to cause problem, and then say you want to set up a security task force or whatever. The community leaders, the traditional rulers, should be able to get the best in their communities, then get them to acquire some necessary skills. Like I've said, you don't need to beat someone before you turn intelligence. You don't need to beat somebody before you get any information from the person. These are skills that are transferable.
Well, Dr. Usoroh, I want to say thank you very much for giving us your expert opinion on this afternoon. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. God bless you.